Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We are in Unit 4 Functions, and this is Lesson 13, Graphing Using Slope-Intercept Form. So, you remember that the slope-intercept form of an equation is y equals, and m, like the mountain slope, or multiplied times x, and you're going to add the b, the y-intercept. So that's the slope, and that's the y-intercept. M for like multiply times x, and b because it's at the back of the equation. So the first thing you need to do if you're going to graph, identify the slope and the y-intercept. You put the slope on first. Then you make 3 more points using the slope, and you connect the points with a ruler and put arrows on the end. And this is the part people forget to do, which is label the line. So let's do this a few times. First of all, I'm looking at this equation, and at the back of the equation is positive 5, the b. So there is my b. And I am multiplying 3 times x. That's my m for slope, 3. But I'm going to make it 3 over 1 because I want to have a rise and a run. So I'm going to rewrite it as a fraction. As a matter of fact, I put it up here. Remember, always write the slope as a fraction, because you want to have a rise and a run. So now I'm going to take my nice yellow highlighter and I'm going to highlight the y. There's my yellow line at y. And now I take the y-intercept, the 5, and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My y-intercept is at 5. Some people like to say, oh, b equals 5, begin at 5. So I'm going to begin at 5. And now I'm going to use the slope, the rise over run. I'm going to rise 3 and run 1. So let me make this nice and big so I can rise 3 and run 1. In other words, I'm going up 1, 2, 3 and over 1. And then, oh, I've run out of space. Well, that's okay. I can go backwards. I can go down 3 and over 1. And then just double check it. 1, 2, 3, rise, 1, run. Now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go down 3 and left 1 and check it. Rise, 1, 2, 3, run 1. So I'm rising 3, running 1, rising 3, running 1. Now I can put as many points on here as I need, just so long as it's rise 3, run 1. Rise 3, run 1. And rise 3, run 1. Now you only really need 2 points to make a line, but I like to have a lot more than that. I like to cover as much of my graph as possible with points. So then I grab my ruler, my handy dandy ruler, and I'm going to put it on the graph paper. And look, I hold it with, I got to make sure I can see all the points along the line. And I'm going to hold it with my fingers far apart so that the ruler isn't moving all over the place. Above the grid, through the points, below the grid. So my line goes above the grid and below the grid. So I put my arrows above and below. But look at this. It says label the line. What am I labeling it with? There's my label. So that's what I write on the line. Y equals 3x plus 5. And that's it. I'm done. That's graphing a linear function. So let's try it again. Here we go. So Lots of words on this part. We can use the slope and y-intercept to graph a function. Graph the linear function whose equation is y equals 3x plus 5. What is the y-intercept? Well, the y-intercept is at the back of the equation, b equals 5. What is the slope? Well, the slope is what I'm going to multiply times x, 3 times x. So it's 3. But remember, I'm going to write it as a fraction, 3 over 1. Is the slope positive or negative? Well, let me look at this. Well, that's a positive number. So, where do you graph? Start at the y-intercept. B equals 5. B for beginning equals 5. Use the slope. Remember, rise over run. You're going to go up and over to plot more points on the graph. The numerator represents the rise, and the denominator represents the run. So plot more points following the rise-run pattern. Reverse it. That's what I was doing when I was going backwards. You reverse it. In other words, instead of rising, you're going to drop, because the reverse of rise is drop. And then use your straight edge to make your line with arrows. All right. Write the equation of the function along the graph. Okay, name 2 solutions to this linear function. Wait a second. I'm regraphing this. So, here we go. I'm going to start at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to rise 3, run 1. But now I have to go in reverse. Drop 3, left 1. Drop 3, left 1. And I'm going to put a bunch more points on here, and then I'm going to double check them. First visually to make sure that it's a straight line, and then rise 3, run 1, rise 3, run 1, rise 3, run 1. And I'm just going to check every one to make sure it's always rise 3, run 1 before I draw my line. Because you know, it's me, it's Bono, I will make mistakes. So then, and then, hold the ruler so you can see all the points along the edge of the ruler, but make sure that they're all lined up, nice and tight. Hold it all the way across, arrows on both sides. Write the equation on the line, which is, what is it? What if I write it down here? Y equals 3x plus 5. Does it matter if I write it on top or bottom? Not even a little bit. But now I have to check this point, -5, -8. And I just want to see if it's on here. So here's 0, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. Ooh, look at that. This point, -5, -8, it's not on the line. It's really close, right? But it's not on the line. So, is this point the solution to the function? No. -5, -8 is not a solution. It is not on the line. Okay, so now let's do some practice problems. Let's look over here. Here we go. All of these nice practice problems. Make it big so people can see, but not too big. All right. So, y equals mx plus b. The m, the one you're multiplying times x, here is 2. And I'm going to make that the fraction 2 over 1, because I'm going to rise 2, and I'm going to run 1. B, ooh, don't forget to scoop up that negative, is negative 3. I'm going to begin at 0, negative 3. All right, so first, I like to highlight my yellow y-axis, because that's where you begin. And now I have to go down to negative 3. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Now I'm going to use rise and run. From negative 3, I got to start here. That's where I'm going to begin. Up to 1 to the right. Up to 1 to the right. Because this is positive, I'm going up and to the right. As many points as I can. I'm not even going to do the other side of the y line, because that's where I would make a mistake. I know me. So when I connect all these points, look, it's going to go on the other side of the line. Now, let's take a look down here. Here's a good point. Rise 2, run 1. Rise 2, run 1. Rise 2, run 1. There are more points here. There's lots more points. Once I graphed it. Now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, there's something I forgot. But I could always go back here, rise and run, plot points, reverse the pattern on both sides of the y. I got that. I made a straight line, and then, oh, here's what I forgot. Write the equation of the function along the graph. So now I know what I did wrong. I have to write that. Y equals 2x minus 3. Every time you do it, you have to check to make sure you did all the steps. So here we go. Y equals mx plus b. M is what I'm multiplying. And look at that. That is negative 2. And what does that mean? Well, it's 2 over negative 1. That means rise 2, but then left. My run is to the left if it's negative. And my b here at the back is 4, so I'm going to begin at 4. Highlight my yellow line because I know that that's where I'm going to be beginning. On that y-axis, I go up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put my first dot. Now, look, rise over left. Because it's negative 2, I have to go left. Rise 2, left 1. Rise 2, left 1. Ha-ha. And now let's get some points on the other side. I could go 2 and to the right 1 and continue making points as long as I'm following the pattern. It's like stairs. You just follow the pattern and double check it. Rise 2, left 1, rise 2, left 1, rise 2, left 1, rise 2, left. Okay, now grab my ruler and connect the dots. Put arrows on both sides and write the equation y equals negative 2x plus 4. All right, your turn. You try 3 and 4. That means pause the video. Okay, welcome back. Let's try this. Ooh, did I give you the hard ones to try, huh? It's all right. We'll make this a little bit bigger. And remember, when there's no number in front, that means that there's a 1, because you can multiply 1 times anything and it doesn't change. So my slope, m, equals 1. So that means 1 rise over 1 run. And where am I going to begin? I'm going to begin at 2. So here I am. I begin at 2. And then rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1, up and over. And I'm always going up and to the right because this is a positive slope. So I want all my dots going up and to the right. Now look at that. I am not putting any dots on the other side. I should, right? As long as I'm following the pattern, 1 over and 1 up. I put lots of little dots on this side too. Just double check when you're done. Rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1. Check all your dots. Make sure they make a line. If you're graphing a line and you notice that your dots are not in a line, you did something wrong. Stop. Check yourself. Got a nice rise of 1 and run of 1. And I start here at 2, so that's good. Y equals x plus 2. Label the graph. If you don't label it, you're going to lose points. Labels lose points. Or lack of labels lose points. Ooh, alliteration. Here we go. I am going to rewrite this because there's no number and there should be. This should really be y equals -1 x plus 1. That -1 is my slope. Slope is -1. And what that means is I'm going to rise 1, but I'm going to go left 1. So the negative makes me go left. So rise 1, left 1. Okay, grab my pen. And I'm going to start where? At +1. B is 1. So I come up here and I'm going to start here at +1. But now I rise 1, left 1, rise 1, left 1, rise 1, left 1, rise 1, left 1, rise 1, left 1. Because it's negative, I'm going to the left. But if I want to go to the right, I have to go down. So down and to the right to get some more points. I want my line to be nice and straight. So I put as many points on my graph as I can. Make sure they're all in a nice straight line. Hold your fingers kind of far apart. Graph above the graph paper and below a little. Arrows. And write the equation on the line. Y equals -x plus 1. All right. If you had any problems with any of that, go back and rewatch the part you had problems with. All right, let's do some more points. You mean there's more? There's always more. All right, look, they gave me a fraction. If they give you a fraction, you don't have to make it a fraction. It makes it a lot easier. Y equals m is 1/2. That means I'm going to rise 1 and I'm going to run 2. And my b is -5. When it says subtract 5, you write -5. And that means you come down. I should always highlight my yellow lines first. I'm just going to go through and highlight all of those, because otherwise I will forget. I don't want to forget stuff. Here we go. -5. Start at 0, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. -5. And now I have to rise 1, run 2. 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 And look, it's positive, so it's going up and to the right. Or I can go in the opposite direction and get some more points. Down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2. But I don't like to do that. I like to think rise over run, rise over run, rise over run, because then I don't make so many mistakes. Oh, nice. And in a line, play connect the dots, to-doot, to-doot, and write the equation on this line. Y equals 1/2 x minus 5. So arrows, equation, half, all good. All right, let's try this one. Ooh, that's got a negative fraction. That's good too. So that is negative 2 over 3. That means I'm going to rise 2, but I'm going to go left 3. Rise 2, left 3. Remember, whatever you're multiplying times x, that's your slope m. Plus 8, so I start at 8. Okay? On the y, here's the 8, and I'm going to rise 2 and go left 3. 1, 2 up, 1, 2, 3 over. Oh man, I don't have enough to do it. I have to go in the opposite direction. Down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3. And now double check. Rise 2, left 3. Rise 2, left 3. Rise 2, left 3. Now I know all my points are in the right spot, so I can play connect the dots. Oh, that's not helpful, is it? So y equals negative 2/3 x plus 8. Okay. Ooh, this one is nice and easy. Look at that. Y equals 7. So what is the slope on that? Remember, when there's no slope, that means I multiplied times 0. This was really y equals 0 times x plus 7. So I'm going to have a 0 slope. My y-intercept, I wrote those backwards colors. My b equals 7. So I know I'm starting here at 7. But my slope is 0. It does not rise. It only runs. So it looks like that. Now, if this is hard for you to remember, because it's hard for everybody to remember, you can always make yourself a T-chart with x's and y's and say, okay, if x is 0, y is 7. If x is 1, y is 7. If x is 2, y is 7. It doesn't matter what x is, y is always going to be 7, because that's what it's saying here, y is 7. So let's see, 0, y is 7. 1, y is 7. 2, y is 7. 3, y is 7. See what I mean? So a 0 slope means that the y is always whatever it's equal to. Now this is the opposite of that. This is x equals 9. So no matter what, my x is 9. X is 9, y is 1. X is 9, y is 2. X is 9, y is 3. It doesn't matter. X is always 9. Y can be anything, but it tells me x is 9. Or let's put it on here. This is the undefined slope. Undefined slope, which means it's going to be going up and down through x equals 9. So here, over here is x equals 9, and I'm going to have a line that goes through there, straight up and down at x equals 9. Come here, you. Arrows on the bottom, arrows on the top. Equation x equals 9. That's not a function. Remember, if it's a vertical line like that, it's not a function. All right. Well, good luck and try some problems. Take care. Bye.